Well, it was like any other day. On my way home in the car, I got a text that said, "Urgent chemical leak into West Virginia American water system. Do not drink water, bathe, or cook. Urgent. Please share." There was a chemical tank farm that had not been regulated, had not been inspected for many, many, many years. This tank farm is like a mile and a half above the intake of our water system, and it was leaking. They say it started leaking that morning, but we don't know really when it started. I was actually in shock. I was stunned to realize there's poison in my pipes. The conversation at that point was, let's go take care of ourselves. We went and got paper plates, things that could help us cook without needing water to wash our dishes when we were eating dinner, when we could only use rainwater to wash our dishes. It was just sort of like a camping experience. I was without water for 7 days, but even after that, I wouldn't drink the water. I still filter my water. The topic of water is always on my mind. I started seeing groups forming, and I just felt like I want to be a part of a group. I want to see what people are doing because I just was so angry and concerned, and I wanted to do something, and I've never had that feeling before. I decided I wanted to do citizen lobbying, and so I went to this fundraiser, and I saw a centerpiece that had water droplets as a centerpiece, and it just instantaneously, like, oh my goodness, I have a cookie cutter like that at home. The next day, there happened to be a judiciary committee meeting, and I made cookies that night and took them to the delegates the next day. People really got excited. Senators, delegates, secretaries, everyone loved my cookies. They were tweeting it. It was really making an impact. I sort of branded myself the cookie lobbyist. It has started something, a momentum of awareness. Everyone loves them. I mean, I get high fives from senators. In 2015, a year after the first bill, we had another legislative session, and we were still having to fight for clean water legislation. By that time, I had found my voice. I think intuitively, I wanted other people to use their voice, children. And so I started working with my friend who's an artist and who happened to be my illustrator. Texted her and said, "Can you give me some coloring pages? Because I really wanted children to start using the voice. If it's not just me or another adult in a blue dress or another lobbyist, but children who this is their future, if they would start listening to what they said." I think that inspired my artwork theme of the 2015 legislative session. I spoke at a public hearing on one of the bills, and I added the children's artwork in with that. So their words were important. They allowed me to use their voice. In 2016, I hadn't been there for a year. There was a water day at the Capitol. So I got my blue dress out of the back of the closet that had been there for a year. And as I was getting ready, I'm like, this dress makes me feel like a water superhero, and then I thought about my cookies because I had made cookies too. I'm like, that feels like my shield. So that morning I started thinking, oh, I want to write a children's book. And then I texted my illustrator and like, will you illustrate a children's book for me? And so that was the beginning of it. The book is fun. It's age appropriate, and not only will they love the pictures and the rhymes, but I think it will leave something with them and help them give a voice, especially when it's combined with the coloring book. My dog Isabeau is a big part of the book. She gave me so much support during the water crisis. I have pictures of her when I would literally sit in my room and cry because I felt overwhelmed. She would just sit right beside me and look up at me, and that comfort was real important. But at the same time, her health was important to me too, so she only gets filtered water now. It's not just people who are affected by the water, it's our plants. It's our animals too, so that's important. I wanted the beauty of West Virginia to be foremost in this book because people who live in West Virginia love it. We might be 50th in some of the polls and surveys, but we think that we are strong. And after what I've been through, I think I know I'm strong. So water brings up a lot of emotions. Like I could easily leave, but I felt like I wanted to stay and fight. I could live anywhere, I could work anywhere, but I stay. And part of right now I want to stay to see what happens with West Virginia. And the children's book was just inspired. It wasn't planned. I listened to my intuition, and so I'm very happy with the finished product, and I hope it helps, and I hope children learn from it. It inspires them, and they become aware, and that they feel like I can do something